Good evening, SM viewers. This is Satellite Media. We are going to look at a very serious issue involving Nnamdi Kanu and federal government. And recorded recently, about 50 lawmakers wrote to the president demanding the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. And before this, we saw a letter from elder statesman talking about Edwin Clark, where he advised, or rather acknowledged, Mr. President Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu to treat Nnamdi Kanu the same way he treated Bodejo. When he said that Bodejo is the chairman of the HLR and was charged for terrorism-related offenses, but as at the last count, the Attorney General of the Federation, who represents federal government, approached the courts and withdrew the case. According to him, it is in the interest of justice that he did that. Mr. Ebube, the area I want us to focus is when you look at the list of the 50 lawmakers that demanded for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, you discover that it cut across board. Some persons from Benue, some persons from Borno and Katsina. It's not restricted to the southeast. What does it mean for Nnamdi Kanu that has been in castration for some time now?
Thank you very much for having me. But I think first and foremost, what you should know is that these people are politicians to start with. I know what politicians are capable of doing. Politicians will come today and tell you, you're killing this person, you have to stop killing this person. But tomorrow, as soon as they are doing whatever was his or target for saying or making that statement, you see the switch. So I think now we can't move better than that. These people have been there since 2015 when it started. They've been there since 2015 when its prosecution started as well. So for them to come out now in a government where we see clearly that there's a fusion between political parties internally and externally, you can expect politicians to start snaking around. Can we use that word respectfully? Snaking around to bosses that they don't even have interest, they don't have their interest at heart, and then they will jump off as well from these bosses as soon as they achieve their aim. Let's say, for example, these 50 politicians who have sent a letter. You said a letter, right? They sent a letter.
Of course.
Now they sent a letter to the president. God don't do nothing when they come from your mouth or when they come from your pen. They really don't do nothing if they are not backed up with action. So what action are these 50 politicians who put forward out of their letter of words?
You know why I bring this angle? Because severally, repeatedly, the political class have been accused of not doing enough in terms of drumming support for Nnamdi Kanu, or even possibly asking federal government to reach a political solution and perhaps left him up a hook. But Mr. Ebube, I want to bring another angle, because recently Nnamdi Kanu himself spoke in court where he said he never authorized any killing. He condemned it, whether on the side of the citizens or even on the side of the military personnel. He condemned it. He got to show that he's a man of peace. Would that be the reason we are seeing politicians rallying around him this time around?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. Like I said, politicians are politicians. Politicians will always remain politicians. Be them from America. I can excuse maybe Russia, China, and a few countries, Cuba, but as far as any country practicing the Western style politics, you are always a politician, and what that means is that you are always not trustworthy. You understand? So whatever you say is subject to serious, thorough confirmation of action, not just words. So I don't think just yet I'm convinced, or the people who have genuine interest in the Nnamdi Kanu case, which is fighting for self-determination. Like anybody who thinks self-determination is a crime, it's not going to work, because what you find from those who tell you it's not a crime, but we don't have to divide. Africa is supposed to be united. Pan-Africanism. I don't think Pan-Africanism is supposed to be centered upon the unity in terms of let's come as one with one president for Africa. I don't think that's what's supposed to be centered upon, but respect for our indigenous cultures, traditions, and person, so that we can cooperate together. You understand? We necessarily don't have to live in the same house for the both of us to have cooperation, right? So I think these people who are talking about these politicians are starting to think, they've not done enough. Nnamdi Kanu is not begging for his freedom.
Okay, now if we let us look at the controversy surrounding negotiation. You understand that the media was awash with Nnamdi Kanu's intention to negotiate with federal government. But shortly after that, we had a situation where his lawyer came out to set the record straight, explaining that it was at the instance of the judge herself who want to explore Section 17 of Nigerian High Court Act that permits judge to initiate or rather give insinuation directive to parties involved in litigation to see whether they could settle out of court. And what do you think this may have done to the image of Nnamdi Kanu himself, considering the fact that so many people believe that Nnamdi Kanu can never and will never call for negotiation or abandon the struggle for the isolation of Biafra?
As far as let me touch on the image first. As far as the image of Nnamdi Kanu, I want to assure everybody that there's nothing you can do to tarnish or destroy the image of Nnamdi Kanu. You might try, but nothing you can do to tarnish it. That's number one. Number two, it's really, really sad that I watched that interview. I don't know who was interviewing Nnamdi Kanu on that very court day after the hearing, where the lawyer jumped into an interview meant for Nnamdi Kanu himself. And the lawyer himself says he raised to remind. So I don't think it's the judge from the lawyer's own statement there. I don't think it's the judge who raised it. I think it's the lawyer who raised it. And then Nnamdi Kanu's countenance and his closing statement, which was the last statement to the interviewer, was that his lawyer is only quoting the law, what the law says, not him. So I strongly agree with Nnamdi Kanu. You don't beg for a freedom that you already have.
Okay,
holding you.
Permit me to jump in here. That takes me to the point his lawyer raised, that Nnamdi Kanu knows the implication of fighting for freedom. That Nnamdi Kanu once told him that three things are involved. That one can be jailed, one can be in prison, and one can end in the grave fighting for freedom. Does it mean Nnamdi Kanu is not bothered even if this takes his life?
He has said that many times. That even if he in fact, he said if he dies, it comes quicker. So I don't think any real revolutionary is going to be scared of death. You have the likes of Malcolm X, you have the likes of the Black Panthers, you have the likes of Marcus Garvey, you have the likes of Patrice Lumumba, you have the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, you have the likes of name them, this Burkina Faso, what's his name again? You have Thomas Sankara. You have a lot of them who have told this part and who have told you can only kill the revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. You can kill this body, but you can't kill the spirit that is driving this body and driving the cause. The cause is a just cause, it's a heavenly cause, and it must come. So,
when you make heavenly cause, I hope you are not trying to drag this into the spiritual arena, but that is not the intention of this conversation anyway. I know what you stand for when it comes to Biafra and Biafra sovereignty. We have another agitator who is a Finland-based lawyer. I'm talking about Samanekpa, that federal government has since declared wanted. He's still not to be perturbed because recently we have seen Samanekpa coming out to say, yes, I now have a lobbying firm, and we have a lobbyist who is based in faraway Washington, D.C. And according to him, this will be laundering the image of Biafra at international level, trying to bring in the buy-in of UN and some other world bodies. Mr. Ebubu, is this a plus to the struggle?
Simon Ekpa is a guy who has been really, really suspicious. Even to I myself, I don't even understand him. Not in the sense that I don't see what he's doing or what he claims to be doing. When people are killed in gruesome manner, the people you claim you're fighting for their freedom are killed, and then you come out openly to say, to endorse it, like you are a part of those people who killed, innocent people just to fight for freedom or to sue for freedom. And I don't go with you. I don't go with you.
So you have an issue with it?
I have an issue with that. Yeah,
And
it's not just right at all. Then when you come again and you say you have a Biafran government in exile, I don't see what the benefit is. I don't see how it has profited people, like unlike iPod, who they tell people go to the farm from last 2 years, and then people can see the benefit of it today. You can see tomatoes is selling at the high rate. You can see the Bill Gates GMO seeds is coming, flooding in the African market, especially Nigeria. And if in the next 15 to 20 years you start hearing incessant cases of cancer or impotence in men or barrenness in women, and you begin to look for the trouble. These are things that GMO seeds causes. So when you see IPOB encouraging people to go into farming of all sorts from last 2 years, you can tell that these people have a direction. When you see that IPOB has launched ESN, a security network that has helped to comb the bushes of the Maroni Fulani headsmen who commit atrocities of the highest order. And you can see that these people have a goal and they have a direction.
Is that not at variance with the order of Nigeria sovereign states? When you talk about IPOB having an arm that is ESN, is that not contravening the constituted authority of Nigeria as a sovereign state?
So long as every constitution has self-defense embedded in it, it doesn't contravene setting up a vigilante group who is charged with, taking care of issues. We know the issue in Nigeria now in farms. Everybody nationwide is complaining. Benue State, they are complaining. The same complaint they have in the east, the same complaint they have in the north, the same complaint they have in the north central, the same complaint they have in the south. So when you put up a group, a vigilante group, armed, and they must be armed, because in the first place it is against the Nigerian constitution that Fulani headsmen to carry arms, to bear arms, for that matter for which they do. And it's even highly against the Nigerian constitution that Fulani headsmen go freely murdering farmers and destroying their farmlands and farm crops and farm fields.
Okay, lastly on this,
it's an indirect way to genocide these people through starvation.
Lastly on this, Mr. Blue, the Nnandi have urged federal government to expedite action with respect to the extradition of Samanekpa. Recently, Samanekpa unveiled international headquarters of Biafra, probably in exile, probably in Finland. Does it mean you are in the same league with Nnandi calling for the extradition of Samanekpa?
I'm not in the same league with Nnandi. If at all, I would say these people are saying the right thing. I would say IPOB are the ones saying the right thing. They don't agitate killing, they just agitate forwardness, progression, And then I wonder why the federal government is not taking the case against Simon Ekpa in Finland. I don't know the Finnish laws, what they say, but I wonder why the Nigerian federal government is not taking it as serious as they should take it.
I think the much I know, federal government or Nigerian sovereign state do not enjoy extradition treaty with Finland. But that is not to say that Nigeria may not have what it takes to approach Finland to kickstart the process of extradition. But do not forget that if you want to do that, you must undergo pre-extradition process, a judicial process. I think that was lacking in the Nnamdi Kanu case. Of course, that may be the reason we saw a court in Nigeria, Court of Appeal, declaring, establishing that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. But having said that, do you think if federal government were to go to Finland to initiate the process of extraditing Samanekpa, do you think the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu as established by Appeal Court in Nigeria, which Samanekpa may cite as the reason he may not want to come to Nigeria, do you think that may work against federal government in Finland?
Well, if the Finnish government doesn't have any pact or agreement as regards extradition of the citizen with Nigeria, then it doesn't matter what the Nigerian government tries. If the Finnish government says no, no is no, right? So, and then on the part of the Nigerian government, it's a shame that they have to do what they did to Nnamdi Kanu, forcefully renditioning him from Kenya to Nigeria when they could have just gone to court. And then there's this interview of a man who said, I think it's Borno and Katsina. He said, if anybody listens to or hears what Nnamdi Kanu did, nobody would want him to be released. I don't think it's true. I think I don't know what has prompted the man to say it, but I don't think it's true. Nnamdi Kanu has not done anything to warrant him being kidnapped or extraordinary rendition. We don't do that.
Okay, Mr. Lu, I think this is a good place to let you go, but we want to get your closing remark before we wrap up.
Well, we love ourselves. We are all one. We're Africans, we're blacks, be you from wherever tribe, whatever your culture is, whatever your tradition is. You know, I love us to always be at peace, and I want peace, just like Nnamdi Kanu says.
So the message is peace.
The message is peace.
I must say very thank you for your time. This is Satellite Media. Thank you for your time, Mr. Edwin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.